therapist, they can mess you up. You know, it's not that the therapist has to agree with everything you say. It's more like they have to help you like find a new way to navigate the world, restructure perspective per se, to help, you know, get around all the snags, and never minimize someone who actually comes in for and seeking help. So anyway, but she would say, she said, oh, it's, she kind of knew like, oh, that's interesting, you know, being able to figure out a way to stay grounded. She listened to what I had to say and understood. Like, I think she knew that I experienced something totally whack and I couldn't totally describe everything without feeling like a crazeball. So anyway, it did help to talk to her and have someone who validated and supported, wasn't judgmental, wasn't someone like, oh, well, do you think maybe you need, you know, maybe you need to, you know, to do this. It's hard to describe. Some people are very short-sighted. They think in black and white terms. So it was very helpful to have a female who knew something was up. And I wondered, in retrospect, now that I understand the world in a new and different way, in terms of people being handled by other forces, if you will, people who learn to do something that's very sinister, quite frankly, anyway, everybody else demanded attention here, so I'm trying to retrace my steps, and I have someone telling me to focus on these people for some reason. Anyway, people learn something very disgusting, and I think my therapist might know that that goes on. I had to learn that it goes on, because it's, if you grow up in a normal way, you would find it hard to believe. You'd be like, no way, you know, that's, I don't believe in that. But they sold Mickey Mouse puppets. I had a Mickey Mouse marionette growing up, and now I wonder if God put it there on purpose to show that the world is puppeted. Just like that fake bear on that motorcycle, without a helmet and everything. So, really, I couldn't tell because nobody had a conversation. I love the idea. Philadelphia puts out this thing as if you have allies on the street, but you don't know them, you're not really friends with them, you never met them. And sometimes it'll push through like, is that person trying to help in some way, but invisibly without ever meeting me or having coffee or getting to know me as a person. I have a cousin like that. It's like, is he helping or hurting? But here's the dealio. The only way you can truly help someone is to actually interact with that person in person. Maybe become an acquaintance, a friend. It doesn't have to be, you know, like a constant, you know, like every once in a while, check in. If you thought someone needed a little support or what have you. Kind of curious who all these special secret people are who help behind the scenes without ever once getting to know the person they say that they're helping. So one person who defied that rule that Philly has of being secret helpers is a friend in Houston, Texas. He reached out through comments on my YouTube channel, my other one, Philadelphia Walks PTSD, which I don't really use that much, but I'll upload double videos. Like if I upload a video that I really love on my channel now, Surfer Code Dreams, PHLTV, sometimes I'll upload it on Philadelphia Walks PTSD just to keep it alive. But he reached out, made some comments here and there, so I responded, and then like slowly he's like, is it okay if I email or whatever? And you know, became a friend that way. And I kind of needed one just because everyone died in my family. Except, I mean, my sister and her kids are still alive and their families, you know. But I lost my mom, my dad, and my aunt all during the pandemic, as did my sister. And because of what began in 2011, I had to learn how to be like on the extreme side of independent and not rely. I'm kind of used to it. I grew up kind of a child who had to entertain herself. Age-wise in my development, no one was exactly my age. There was a slight difference all around. And you know, I just sort of, I was already like conditioned automatically as a latchkey kid. My sister's 4.5 years older, so she was always in a totally different phase of her life while I was growing up through a different phase. So I learned to sort of do on my own, and Philadelphia really put the extreme on that. Actually, when I came to Philadelphia, one of my goals was to meet a lot of people, to build a network, to build a life. And I thought I finally found like kind of a set group that I could, you know, communicate with, invited to a Christmas party here and there, so forth and so on. I was kind of happy, but you know, Philly flipped it, turned my world upside down. It's hard to tell who among the original people who I was kind of hanging out with at the time are part of the bad squad. The sad part is a lot of them were in the neighborhood. So it doesn't give the neighborhood a good name because of those folks. And that's kind of sad, that they represent the neighborhood in a very negative light. But because I was already trained to sort of go it alone, I was able to survive something that's very bad that could cause other people to commit suicide or lash out and hurt others. Other people need more social interaction. I was used to not having it. I'm used to being disappointed by most of the human race. I've never really met people who can meet just basic standards of kindness, respect, and stuff like that, sadly. So anyway, that's it in a nutshell. Have a great day.